What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Welcome back to my bullshit. So I'm gonna do a quick tour on this 2024 Freightliner Cascadia. And if you're a trucker, because I know a lot of you are, it'd be pretty boring because I believe since they switched to this model year in 2019, not a whole lot's changed. I know all trucks come with different features, you know. The main thing that's changed for me, because this is the first truck that I've had that has the under bunk seating area and table that I do like. Other than that, a lot of it's pretty much still the same. So I will get that stuff out of the way first, and then I'm going to do the rest of the video as if you've never seen the inside of a truck. And as I'm sure you could probably tell, they're not exactly huge, so it's a little bit hard to shoot a video and get like everything in the right angle here. But obviously you can see this is the you know, the driver's bed, so to speak, you know. Then if you go up top here, this is for a team driver or company, you know, if you got some company. Some guys do it different with this table seating deal underneath here. They'll just leave this up and their table up and they sleep up there. That's not as big of a bed and it's not as comfortable. Even if you pull this mattress to stick it up there, it doesn't fit very well, and I'm not a big fan of sleeping on the top bunk. But I'll show you how it works. You just flip this lever right here. This folds down like that. Flip this. And voila, you got a ladder to get up there. So as a solo driver, I've never actually slept up here myself, but I have had a girlfriend or two come with me. And when you're out for a little while, that bottom bunk gets to be a little bit small, so they have slept up here. I am not a big fan of it at all. It's not very comfortable. And as you can see, it limits the space quite a bit. So if you do have somebody in here that's using it, like I said, as a solo driver, I never have this down. It can get pretty complicated in here, already having like two people in here and then having this folded down like that and all that. So this is pretty much the mode that I'm in all the time here, you know, which gives me the most space. Obviously with my bed for sleeping, but one part that I do like about this new model is this underneath table setup here. So you just gotta kind of take your pillows and get them up here out of the way. And a lot of times I forget them up there, and then I start driving down the road and then my pillows fall on the floor where my boots were, and I just walk through a parking lot that has piss in it. You know, it's not a good thing. But that's trucking, right? So there's a latch down here that when you get one of these at first, you got to figure out where it's at. That just flips this up. Now typically it would just go up and latch against the wall like that does. But I have a pillow top cooling topper on my mattress, so there's not enough room. So I had to do a little bit of jimmy rigging and put a bungee cord on there, right? And as I said before, you do lose quite a bit of storage space, because in a regular truck, this would all just be open area, give or take the APU that takes up some space, but you could store quite a lot underneath there. I had to get used to that. And then you got your little light here. You pull this lever, this table pops up. Now I guess if you're going to be using this area while the truck's moving down the road, this feature would be nice. I don't use it, but you hit this button right here, table slides out. There's a couple drink holders back here, which I could see would be handy if the truck was moving. And then as far as the seats go, one lever there pops that seat up. Same thing over on this side. As you've heard me ranting and raving about, I do like it. You know, I've had the Kenworth T680s that have that bigger swing table, and then the seat spins around. I never really use the seat that spins around. If you haven't watched that video, go look at my 2023 T680 tour and the way that the TV swivels and all that. Now these Freightliner Cascadias got more overall room inside because the Kenworth's narrow in the front. I'm actually a big fan of the Cascadia. I like the way the Kenworths look, and I like the way they drive better, but as far as the interior, I like the Cascadia myself. So this does give you a lot of area, you know, to be able to put your laptop and your food and all that, which is nice. Because what used to happen is this little section right here is a slide out table. Not in this one, But in your typical Cascadia, that's all you would have is a little slide out table like yay big, and you would sit on the edge of your bunk. Which I will say is nice, because when I first started trucking, we didn't have any table at all, so you were eating on your lap all the time. So I was happy when they started adding that. But I was real happy when I got in this truck and seen this. Now you can access your side boxes underneath through here. There's a lever down here to get underneath there, and that would be, you know, your side box coming from the outside. It's not very practical, you know, because let's say you got to get something out of your toolbox, you know, you'd have to fold all this up to be able to get in there. You're almost better off just jumping out of the truck and going outside and getting what you need. They got seat belts in there, apparently, in case you want to put your seat belt on when you're driving down the road. Little area right there to set some stuff. There's a power outlet down there, charge your phone and stuff. Same deal over here on the other side as far as accessing the side box, except for this one over here has no storage space in it at all, because that's where the stuff for the APU's at, so you completely lose that entire area. So this would be kind of like the mode that you would be in, like if you were just chilling out here sleeping like during the day or whatever, and you wanted it blacked out. You got the window up here, right, and then you got one down here. Same thing over here on this other side. So then obviously you fold this down and get out of your way if you need to. I very rarely ever use these bottom windows. Like, you pretty much gotta be like in the perfect parking arrangement area. But these snap off, and then obviously a lot of times, you know, you're working, you don't really got time to be popping those on and off. But this window does open. It's got a screen in it, so if you're in a good area, you know, you can open up all the windows. Now these top ones I use all the time. My first truck that I got like this was a 2019 Cascadia that I got brand new. And for some reason it didn't have no top windows, and that sucks. I'm a smoker, so I like to have those open and let the smoke out. Otherwise it will yellow the truck out. Now myself, you can reach this better when the bunk's down. I always just do a half fold like that, and then, you know, you can open the window up like this. This does come all the way off, obviously. If you really wanted to like brighten it right up in here and be chilling for the weekend, or if you're living in the truck like me, you know. And for my personal preference for how I roll, I got this fan up here, right? And that way, you know I'm a huge fan of sleeping with the truck off, and it's not because I'm trying to save the company money on fuel. I just want it quiet and, you know, all that. But also, like I said, I'm a smoker, and if I'm doing like a 34-hour reset or something up in here, if I'm driving down the road, I got the windows down, right? But if I'm sitting up in here doing a 34 or a 48 or something, I smoke a few cigarettes, you know? So I like to, it gives a nice cross ventilation, sucks it in that window, blows it out the other. Like last night, I didn't have to have the truck running at all. By the time I went in and ate dinner, came back out, it was cooled down enough to where it just starts drawing that in. And it's nice for me. I like it. I like the fresh air. But as far as the fan goes, I've had this in a couple trucks. It stays. You know, it'll ride up there all the time. I just got a couple of those little bungee cords that you get, you know, from the truck stop. Got it strapped up there. I like it. Works good. Circulates the air. And it also doesn't destroy the truck for the next guy, you know, because with this truck, several trucks I've had, even my pickup trucks, I buy my pickup trucks brand new and shit, right? When I sell them as non-smokers, because I clean them up, and I always smoke with the windows down. I'll crack all 4 windows, you know what I'm saying? Because if you watch that one video I showed you guys, like how the light up here was all yellow and the place was just gross. That dude must have been just sitting in here smoking cigarettes without having a window down. So I have a little bit of respect when it comes to that yes, multiple people will probably have this truck before it goes to the graveyard, and I'm trying not to ruin it for them. So right down here behind the passenger seat is your refrigerator. Above your refrigerator, you got this, what I call my junk drawer, where I keep all my random stuff, which is pretty handy. But as far as the refrigerator goes, it's not huge, but it is huge in the fact that we didn't used to have them. You can put quite a bit in there, so you can stock up on food a little bit. Obviously, I need to do a little shopping. It does have a little freezer that doesn't look like much, but you can get a few TV dinners in there. or some ice cream or something like that, right? And then put your drinks and whatnot over here in the door. This is another one of those respect things that I have, is if you don't put a paper towel down here underneath your drinks, it leaves these black rings in there. And you can, you know, get the black rings out with Scotch-Brite, but I just don't do it. I put a paper towel down there so when the next guy gets the truck, it's not like just all shitty looking for him. I just have a little respect for the next driver. So a lot of times I can give a flying shit about the companies, you know. I don't really care about them, but I do have respect for my fellow driver. So please pull forward from the fuel-ons when you're done fueling. Then above the fridge here, you got your TV, right? There's a little light under here that's kind of handy when you're getting in and out of bed and whatnot. As far as the television goes, it does swivel. This has a swivel. It flips around over there. I really don't know why you would want it to do that, because, you know, if you're laying in the bunk, it's not like it's that much closer and you have to swivel it back every time, but it does swivel and tilt and all that stuff. Myself and some of my other friends, I've been having issues with TVs, man. Like, I'll wake up in the morning and there'll be screws laying here and shit, and we've been tearing through these TVs because the roads are so bad nowadays that it just vibrates the piss out of this thing. Now, I got screws in there holding it, but I also put alien tape on the back to kind of pad it a little bit, just kind of a little tip that I have. Now, as far as the television goes, I'm going to throw in a little something else on here. There's going to be some random shit in this video about just how I roll. Maybe it'll help someone out, and it'll help people throw some shit into the comments, right? And they can say how they do it. But, see, this TV has, like, the Hulu and Netflix and Disney and all that stuff on it, correct? And it's a smart TV. But there's a little bit of a problem with that, because on this particular TV, in order to use all those features and whatnot, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi in order for all that to work. To even screen mirror. Like, you remember how on the old TVs, you could just screen mirror right from your cell phone to the TV? In order to screen mirror on this damn thing, your phone's got to be connected to the same Wi-Fi as the TV's connected to be able to screen mirror. So, call bullshit on all that, right? But I'm going to show you something of how I got around that. See, because this way I don't have to spend any money on anything. You know, I already got my cell phone bill. So I picked up this thing. It's called Black Web, alright? And you can see the model number and all that. I got it at Walmart. You can probably order it right online. So it plugs into my phone. I have an Android. As far as I know, they do have them for iPhones and everything else, right? So that just plugs into an HDMI cord, into that, and then into your phone. So what happens is everything you have on your phone, right? Most of us have unlimited data anyway. If you don't, you're kind of in the Stone Age, you know, because it's just pretty cheap nowadays. So if you got Dateline ID, you got Netflix, you got HBO Max, you know, you want to watch some porn on a bigger TV, whatever you got going on, then you can just plug your phone right in there, YouTube, all of it. You can watch some of my videos on TV, right? And it's all free because you're already paying the phone bill anyway. So that's the way I found around it. And then up above the TV, you got your microwave area. There's a plug back in there to directly plug your microwave in. Some trucks are different. Some trucks I've had where, because for instance, my inverter's down here underneath this bunk. And I've had it where it's down there and I gotta run a extension cord all the way over to everything. They're getting better about it, and they're actually putting plugs around. Like, there's one down there. There's one back here, and there's one over here on the other side. So you got multiple plugs, and that's 110 or 120 volt, whatever you want to call it, inverted. So, you know, you got your microwave so you can cook some food when you're either saving money or you're in a pinch, you know, one of the two. I call this basically kind of like my kitchen area over here, you know, because I got my fridge and everything here. And then I just keep all my shit up here, you know. I got silverware, I got my food stash, microwave food stash, and then just all your random plates and bowls and baggies and salt and pepper and all that shit. Some people travel a lot heavier than I do, you know. I don't generally make my own food in the truck. I'm usually working too much, so I buy a lot of my food, but it's there if I get stuck at a shipper or receiver or an accident or whatever. I got that food. If you go up above that cabinet, they've changed that. You see there's storage space up there? That's actually a clear TV antenna. But that is actually one of the things that they did change, because that used to be just flat up there. And I always stored stuff up there, but like I would have to, like, I carry winter weather gear in the wintertime for emergencies, like, you know, sub-zero shit. Because you never know, man, what's gonna happen. And I would always just strap a duffel bag up there with some bungee cords. Well, it's kind of nice they made that an actual pocket now, so you can just toss shit up there. So they're thinking, you know, they're working on it. You jump over here to the other side, to the driver's side, it's just pretty much the same thing. You got a storage cabinet. In my case, this is where I keep my towels. In the past, I unpacked my towels and put them in here. Life hasn't been working out so good for me with these jobs, so I am pretty mobile nowadays. You know, I can be out of this truck in minutes. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they break down and you gotta switch it to a sub truck. So that's what I put up there anyway. Jump down below that cabinet and you got your larger cabinet. Oh, for me, I mean, you got a little pocket over here if you want to throw some stuff in there. A lot of them come with a mirror up here. You can stick one up there, you know, keep yourself all looking pretty. There is a clothes bar in here if you wanted to hang out some shirts. I never get that fancy. I just got my GoPro, or I had my GoPro hanging there. And I just pretty much don't really use this a whole lot other than my shower bag, because that's one of my main things is your shower bag, you know. If you got an abandoned ship, that's one thing that goes with you, you know. That's where I keep all my truck keys and everything in there. Jump down below that cabinet and you just got another cabinet here, right? That's obviously where I store all my water. This is where your filters and all that are for your blower. I got a video on that. If you ever want to know how to clean those and change those, check out my video. You know, you got a little pocket back here, which I actually like. It sounds silly, but that's where I keep my laptop, because there's not a lot of other places to put shit, so every little spot, you know, kind of counts. But to get down to the nitty gritty part of it, and I got a whole video on this, but just to be realistic on how trucking really is, so y'all understand it. It's not work 8, 9, 10 hours a day, parking a truck stop every night, take a shower, get dinner at the truck stop. That's generally not how it is. You're on an on-ramp, you're in a gravel parking lot, you're at a shipper receiver, you're pulling the truck stop, just parking real quick or something, you're working. You know, you're working. So the reality of it is these over here would generally be under the bunk, because I wouldn't have that table. This right here is basically my sink, alright? This is where I spit when I brush my teeth in the morning, and then that gets dumped into the woods. These right here, my friends, are not laundry soap. That is what you call trucker piss jugs. Because that's how that is. I got a whole video on that too. It's called Dookie Bags and Piss Jugs, something like that. And for you lady truckers out there, I mean, I know you got your own way, but them laundry soap bottles work. They got a big top to them. Trust me, I've had a couple females tell me they work just fine. Now you jump over here on the passenger seat, right? I call this a must-have. It's a blowgun for keeping the truck clean. Now they got these new ones. They used to have the other ones that were chintzier and so on and so on. These all, you know, they detach, you know, but the main thing is with them is that they're just better quality and a way better design, because those other ones, you had the nut and ferrule design on them. So once you put them in a truck, you either left them behind, or if you took them and then you put the quick coupler back on, you know, then it ruined the ferrules. So you had to get new ferrules every time you moved it to another truck. This is a quick coupled system, so all you got to do is push it in, pop it off, throw the quick coupler back on there, and you can take that blowgun right with you to any other truck. With this setup here, I mean, I think this is already like a 10-foot cord. I can reach all the way out to my side boxes and stuff with it and blow out my side boxes. But one thing that I think's nice is I clean my pickup truck out with this, because I have another one of these and it quick couples right here, so I can add a line to it and fire up this truck and pull my pickup next to it and blow my pickup all out with it. So it's pretty nice. And being that I'm plugging some products, right, obviously I'm not sponsored by any of these people, and I don't give a shit about none of that. I'm saying this shit because I hope it helps people out. You guys remember back in the day, we always had to buy that sticky Velcro, and then you had to stick it all over to hold all your shit, because being in one of these trucks is kind of like being on a sailboat, man. Like, everything has to be strapped and locked and loaded, you know, because this truck's rocking all over the place, right? alien tape, man. Right? You can get it online. Loves is selling it. No, that stuff is great. I mean, you can do so many amazing things with this. It's so sticky that you can put your pre-passes and all that back up. You can stick it to the dash. You got to wipe the dash down with glass cleaner or something if you armor all it, because it won't stick that well at first. But also, when you're done with it, it peels right off and it doesn't leave any sticky residue and ruin the truck or anything. And there's just all kinds of different uses in the truck or at home with alien tape. And like I said, I'm not sponsored by them or nothing. I just want people to know about it because the shit works great. So then while I'm plugging away on some shit, right? Check this bag out, man. So I had like the old conventional laundry bag forever. I gotta say they last forever for the price. I got this on Amazon. This is like army tent quality material and all that, which is cool. I wasn't as worried about that. But now that I'm living out in the truck and I stay out here for like 2 weeks, I have 2 weeks worth of clothes and I don't do my laundry for 2 weeks, right? Well, dude, you don't realize it until you get ready to go into the laundromat how heavy 2 weeks worth of clothes are, bro. So I was like halfway across the parking lot like, dude, what the fuck? So I went on Amazon. It's a backpack laundry bag, and you can put a shit ton of clothes in there, and it makes it so much easier to have it as a backpack than trying to carry like a freaking bag of laundry. Up front here, you got a couple more storage areas up here. This is above the passenger seat on this side. I obviously keep all my cleaning nonsense, and one above the driver's seat. And then you got a little bit of storage up top on the overhead, and a couple more storage areas above each seat, which actually have quite a bit of room in there. You can actually put quite a bit of stuff. These two slots, that's my permit book. A lot of people don't realize that it's actually a DOT law that permit book needs to be within reach if you get pulled over. I don't know why, because the government's anal. A lot of people keep them over there in the door panels. That's not the best idea because they get all wet and everything. I have mine up there. You might wonder why I have all those clips. It's because the road is so bad. The roads are so bad that it shoots it right out of there. This here is your good old boy CB radio. Breaker, right? No one hardly ever uses anymore, but I have one, right? And this is a mic keeper. If you're a big time CB talker, you know, you can just pull that down and that'll retract. Funny thing about that mic keeper is that is over 25 years old, my friends. And as far as the privacy curtains go, you got a set right here between the seats and the sleeper that you can close. Some people prefer that. I might for naps, but I got a lot of crap in here, so they're kind of a pain in the butt. Myself, I close the front ones, right? And these are here. And they wrap all the way around on both sides because I just got more room that way. I don't feel so claustrophobic, and that's just how I roll. And then we get up in here where the money's actually made and where the work actually gets done. And I want to show you guys something here real quick. If you've never seen the perspective of what a truck driver actually sees, you can actually see quite a bit. Like I always say on these Cascadias, there's no blind spot other than directly behind the trailer. You got your side mirror, you know, out there. Your convex on that. You got your fender convex. You got the other fender convex. And then you got this side mirror. That's actually a curb mirror. Nobody ever uses those. I don't know why they still put them on there. But a good example is like, if you can see it in this video here from the driver's seat, you see that convex out there on the fender? I'm going to try to zoom in. Now you realize that in that convex, I can see all the way to the front of that truck in the other parking spots tanks, right? Well, look where he's at. You see where he's at? That means that I can see almost all the way around to my side door, and he's 2 parking spots over. You know what I'm saying? So there's not really much of a reason for people to be running cars off the road. That concludes this episode of Trucker Trash's 2024 Freightliner Cascadia. How boring was that whole deal, right? But I don't know, they work. I did one tour on my KW. In fact, I think that thing's got like 20,000 views on it. So people are interested in it. There you go. Now you know what it's all about. Myself, I'm going to check out. I will catch up with you guys in the next video. I'm going to go into personal conveyance and bobtail my ass out to my Harley and go see some friends, man. Have some fun.